Fourth and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes a snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes a snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right. Well, the New York Giants, right, are the third most valuable franchise in the NFL. Now, they're running almost neck and neck with the Rams. Now, the one thing is what you look at, right? Is you figure, the Giants have, hey, right? We've sucked for a long time, and we're still the third, right? And the Rams, they almost beat the Eagles last season on the road, right? They played better against the Eagles than any of the other teams did in the playoffs, right? So the Rams are, a little bit more valuable than the Giants are. Of course, the Dallas Cowboys, the Cowgirls are number one. Right, as much as Jerry Jones keeps seeming he just seemed to screw that team up year after year after. I mean, haven't won a Super Bowl since what? The 95, early 96, but it was after the 95 season. Right, they won in 92, they won in 93. San Francisco won in 94, and then 95 was the Cowboys. So basically, the 95 season, right, where we at the 25 season. So the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years, and still they're the number one. And Jerry just seems to keep screwing that up. That's why we need to punch the Cowboys in the mouth. We need to beat them. We need to go into Dallas and show them who's boss. We got to beat them. Giants are the NFL's third most valuable franchise, just behind the Rams. Giants have a long and storied history that only a few NFL franchises can claim. Of course, the Arizona Cardinals, the Chicago Bears, and the Green Bay Packers are the only three teams that have been active for longer than the Giants. Now, the Cardinals, right, were the Chicago Cardinals in 1920. That's when that was the first season or first year. It was the American Professional Football Association. It was the American Professional Football Association for 1920, 1921. 1922, it became the NFL. But in 1920, the American Professional Football Association, the Chicago Cardinals, and the Decatur Staleys, who became the Chicago Bears, were around. In 1921, the Green Bay Packers entered the scene. In 1925, of course, we know the New York Giants. In 1920, it was the Decatur Staleys. 1921 became the Chicago Staleys. 1922 became the Chicago Bears. So the first 3 seasons, the Bears had different names each year, right? But as it says in his article, the Cardinals and the Bears have been around since 1920, and the Green Bay Packers around 1921. The Giants, of course, although entered 1925. But a team's longevity in the league doesn't have much bearing on what the organization is worth today. Now, because I'll forget. I mean, Green Bay is like the smallest market. Chicago's a nice sized market, but we're in New York City, right? Huge, right? For example, the Dallas Cowboys joined the league in 1960, nearly 40 years after the Giants, well, 35. Yet they are the most valuable franchise in 2025. Sportico released its annual NFL valuations on Wednesday, and the Cowboys topped the list. The Giants, though, finally broke the $10 billion mark and have become the 3rd most valuable team in the NFL. Here are the most 5 valuable NFL franchises per Sportico's annual NFL valuations that are being released today. Cowboys at $12.8 billion. So they're about $2.5 billion worth more than the Giants. The Rams are $10.43 billion. The Giants are $10.25 billion. So we're like $175 million or something like that. A little chump change right behind the Rams. But the Giants start, right? The Giants start, winning, right, on a consistent basis. They start turning this thing around. They start going to the playoffs, right, and all of that. They might become number 2. It's going to be hard to overtake the Cowboys. I mean, the Cowboys can not win a game for the next 3 trillion years, and they'll still be number 1. So the Patriots are number 4, $8.76 billion, although I think they're going to start coming back down to earth a little bit because they're no longer winning Super Bowls. Tom Brady's not there. Bill Belichick's not there anyway. The 49ers are $8.6 billion. So the Giants are number 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere in the near future they become the number 2. The Cowboys have been ranked number 1 all 6 years of the Sportico's valuations. Last year, the Cowboys were the first team to crack $10 billion. Giants valuation is up 34% from 2024. 34%. Wow. Below the team valuations listed on Sportico's site is an explanation of how they determined the values, what assets they counted, etc. Part of the explanation is as follows. The 2025 valuation, the sum of the enterprise value of an NFL franchise combined with the value of team-related businesses and real estate holdings. Team value. NFL franchise valuations derive from metrics by which football team transactions occur, including aggregating local and national revenues and factoring in team-specific multiplier. This represents the market value of the team itself, excluding related businesses held by its owners. It includes the value of each franchise's 3.13% interest in the league's properties, including NFL Films, NFL Red Zone, 32 Equity, the private equity investment vehicle established by the NFL in 2013, and its digital platforms, which are acquired and disposed in tandem with the sale of a team. There is an additional category for the team-related businesses and real estate holdings, which is broken down in a way that attempts to eliminate and counting any money coming to the team that's not directly related to football operations. This year, the Giants have a chance to prove that they're located the train tracks or the getting back on board. Being one of the top valued teams in the league, they need to start showing it on the field. They don't have to make the playoffs in 2025, although that is always the goal. If they can put together a winning season and pass the eye test, it will go a long way toward the team being worth what it's valued at. So, of the top 5 teams with the highest valuation, only the Cowboys and the Giants have missed the Super Bowl for the last 10 years. Which proves that just because a franchise is worth more money, it doesn't mean that they feel they're a better football team, right? The Cowboys. The Cowboys have not been in the Super Bowl, right? Since after the '95 season, right? When they beat the Steelers, where the 20s, I forgot what it was, 27-21 or 21-20 or 21-7, whatever that was when they beat the Steelers. But I mean, they haven't been to the Super Bowl in 30 years, right? And they're still the number one, right? I mean, they could be a horrible team and they still be number one. But at least the Giants are working their way up, and they can actually wind up putting some good product on the field, right? They actually might have a chance at overtaking the Rams somewhere along the line and becoming the number 2 worst team in the NFL, right?
4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Take the snap. Target it goes in. Target it all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.